Good morning. Good morning. I hope you can hear me okay and see me okay. My computer has just come up with an error message here. So hopefully you can. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. This is a bit unexpected, but I just thought I would. I just thought I'd come on here this morning and share a story with you all from this book. It's called Untamed, Stop Pleasing and Start Living by Glennon Doyle. If you haven't read it, it's a really good read. So I'm going to share you the Cheetah Story, which I think is a really powerful story, and it really resonated with me. So I thought I would share it with you all this morning. It might resonate with you too. Cheetah. 2 summers ago, my wife and I took our daughters to the zoo. As we walked the grounds, we saw a sign advertising the park's big event, the Cheetah Run. We headed towards the family scouting out their viewing points and found an empty stretch along the route. Our youngest daughter hopped on my wife's shoulders to get a better view. A peppy blonde zookeeper in a khaki vest appeared. She held a microphone and the leash of a yellow Labrador retriever. I was confused. I don't know much about animals, but if she tried to convince my kids that this dog was a cheetah, I was getting a Cheetah Run refund. She began, "Welcome everybody, you're about to meet our resident cheetah, Tabitha. Do you think this is Tabitha?" "No," the kids yelled. "This sweet Labrador is called Minnie, and this is Tabitha's best friend. We introduced them when Tabitha was a baby cheetah, and we raised Minnie alongside Tabitha to help tame her. Whatever Minnie does, Tabitha wants to do too." The zookeeper motioned towards a parked jeep behind her. A pink stuffed bunny was tied to the tailgate with a thread rope. She asked, "Who has a Labrador at home?" And all the little hands shot up into the air. "And whose Labrador dog loves to play chase?" "Mine, mine, mine," shouted the kids. "Well, Minnie loves to chase this bunny. So first, Minnie will do the cheetah run while Tabitha watches so she can remember how it's done. Then we'll count down, we'll open up Tabitha's cage, and she'll take off. At the end of the route, just 100 meters away, there will be a delicious steak waiting for Tabitha." The zookeeper uncovered Tabitha's cage and walked Minnie, eager and panting, to the starting line. She signaled to the jeep and off she went. She released Minnie's leash, and we all watched the yellow Labrador dog joyfully chase the dirty pink bunny rabbit. The kids applauded, the adults wept sweat from their foreheads, and finally the time had come for Tabitha's big moment. We counted down in unison. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The zookeeper slid open the cage door and the bunny took off yet again. Tabitha bolted out, laser focused on the bunny. She crossed the finish line within seconds. The zookeeper whistled and threw her the big steak as promised. Tabitha pinned it to the ground with her oven mitt paws, and she chewed on it while the crowd clapped. But I didn't clap. I felt queasy. The taming of Tabitha felt familiar. I watched Tabitha gawning at that steak in the zoo dirt, and I thought, day after day, this wild animal chases dirty pink bunnies down a well-worn narrow path they cleared for her, never looking left or right, and never catching the damn bunny, settling instead for a store-bought steak and the distracted approval of sweaty strangers, obeying the zookeeper's every command, just like Minnie, the Labrador. She's trained to believe that she actually is when she's not. Unaware that if she remembered her wildness just for a moment, she would tear those zookeepers to shreds. When Tabitha finished her steak, the zookeeper opened a gate that led into a small fenced field. Tabitha walked through the gate and it was closed behind her. The zookeeper picked up the microphone yet again and asked for some questions. A young girl, maybe 9 years old, raised her hand and asked, "Isn't Tabitha sad? Doesn't she miss the wild?" "I'm sorry, I can't hear you," the zookeeper said. "Can you say that again?" The child's mother said even louder, "She wants to know if Tabitha misses the wild, being in the wild." The zookeeper smiled and said, "Oh, no, 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 no. Tabitha was born here. She doesn't know any different. She's never even been in the wild. This is a good life for Tabitha. She's much safer here than she would be out in the wild." While the zookeeper began sharing facts about cheetahs born into captivity, my older daughter nudged me and pointed to Tabitha. There in the field, away from Minnie, the Labrador pup, or dog, sorry, and the zookeepers, Tabitha's posture had changed. Her head was high, and she was stalking the periphery, tracing the boundaries of the fence grated, back and forth, stopping only to stare somewhere beyond the fence. It was like she had remembered something. She looked regal. She turned wild again. My daughter whispered to me, "Mummy, she's turned wild again." I nodded at my daughter and kept my eyes on Tabitha as she stopped. I wish I could have asked her, "What is happening inside you right now?" I knew if I did, I knew what she would tell me. She would say, "Something's off about my life. I feel restless and frustrated. I have this hunch that everything was supposed to be more beautiful than this." I imagined a fenceless, wide open savannas. I want to run and hunt and kill. I want to sleep under an ink black, silent sky filled with stars. It's all so real, I can taste it. Then she'd look back at her cage, the only home she's ever known. She'd look at the smiling zookeepers, the bored spectators, and her panting, bouncing, begging best friend, the Labrador dog. She'd sigh and she'd say, "But I should be grateful. I have a good life here. And it's so crazy to long for something that doesn't even exist." But I'd say, "Tabitha, you are not crazy. You're a goddamn cheetah." Have a great day.